Good afternoon, everybody. Hi, my name is Dean Kowalski. I'm a certified personal fitness trainer here at Baycare, and today I'm at the Carolina Wellness Center, and I'll be having my colleague Cassandra join us here in a minute. And what's behind me is a Techno Gym Kinesis motion training wall. We have a 4-station set, and we're going to be demonstrating some exercises and show you some of the neat things that we can do as part of your fitness regimen here at Carolina. Okay, we're going to have my colleague Cassandra come and join us on the first station of the Kinesis wall, and she's going to demonstrate a couple of the exercises that we can do. So we're going to start out with a multi-compound movement that's going to use upper and lower body. She's going to do a lunge press. It'll lunge out, press, and then return, getting a stretch, come back, and again. Now also what I can do is I can have her stay out here in a static position and do a double arm or a single arm. Now, anytime we go into an individual movement from one arm or one leg only, you're going to get a little more isolation. It's going to be a little bit harder, and I think a little more effective. Okay, very good. So then we're going to have her step back, and then we also can do what's known as a chest fly, which works the pectoralis muscles of the chest. Anytime I have my clients doing standing things, I have them flex their knee. It takes pressure off their lower back, and she's going to make a motion of hugging a tree. Her elbows are slightly bent. Breathing is very important as well. I didn't mention that earlier on, and that's exhaling when you exert. You want to avoid holding your breath when you exert, and a lot of beginners commonly make that mistake. Very good. Thank you. So that's an idea of what we can do on the first station. There's tons more exercises, and we're going to get to the next one here shortly. Okay, so now we're going to have Cassandra rejoin us here on the second station on the Kinesis wall, and she's going to go back into that overhead press I just demonstrated. You'll get a front view of that. Again, importantly, we want to make sure we keep our knees flexed, which is called the soft knee. Takes pressure off your lower back. And she's going to go into that double overhead press. And then you also can morph into a alternating. And anytime you do that, again, you're going to get more isolation on the targeted individual shoulder muscles that we're working here. Okay? Thank you. Now let's hop on the separate unit, and we're going to do a bicep curl. Now what I like to do too is have people keep their toes pointed up. That's called dorsiflexion. You're going to get a little stretch on the ankle, but primarily we're going to intend to work the bicep here. I also like to have clients put their hand in the small of their back, and then we're going to do a cable curl, and that's of course for the bicep. You want to make a big rainbow arc up to and underneath the chin. And I always like to tell my clients, you control the weight, don't let it control you. And the Kinesis really allows that to happen on a more consistent basis. So you can feel the weight. So you're lifting and lowering, not just lifting and dropping. So that's another one we can do here on the second station. Okay, we're back here on the Kinesis wall at the third station, the gamma station. And I'm going to have Cassandra join us again to demonstrate a couple exercises we can do on here. Okay, so without glider, just lateral pull down. First one she's going to do is a combination as we did at the beginning, where she's going to do a lateral pull down and a rear lunge. So she's getting upper body and lower body simultaneously. Okay, now go ahead and stop. Now I'm going to employ something we use here a lot at the gym. It's a slider glider, where it's going to allow her to slide along the carpet, pressing her foot on this disc and getting more work from her lower body. Okay, there you go. It's a nice tool to combine with the Kinesis. The Kinesis is very friendly, combining the different modalities that will allow to get a low impact way to work the upper and lower body. Great, thank you, Cassandra. We're going to go ahead and you take the left side here, I'll take this side. We're also going to do some arm movements here. The tricep, of course, is the big part of the back of the upper arm, opposite of what we just did earlier on the bicep. Again, I like to flex my unused foot right here, get a little stretch on the ankle, over the top, and we're going to do a tricep press down. In my professional opinion, the tricep press down is probably the most incorrectly performed movement in the gym. The key to any tricep movement is only moving your elbow to your wrist. Ironically, that is how you isolate the upper arm. If you start moving the whole arm, you will not get that isolation. So these are tricep press downs on the third station of the Kinesis wall. All right, we're at the fourth and final segment of the Kinesis motion training today. That's at the Delta station. It's primarily a lower body one, And we're going to be looking at stuff we can do with the hips. There's actually 4 motions we can make with the hip. There's a flexion when you bring your knee to your chest. There's a extension where you bring your hip back. And then there's an abduction, which is away from the body. And then there's a adduction, which is adding to the middle of your body. We're going to address 2 of those movements in one exercise here. And Cassandra, come join us again. Okay, straddle that pipe like that. Important thing is I want her posture upright, and she's going to go into a squat, lowering, not dropping. She's going to come back up, and now she's going to do that hip abduction, which more people have challenges with than adduction. It's a little less natural motion, and it has more limitations. Again, please. Down, lowering, coming up, and then abducting the hip. She gets the resistance from the weight in that closed loop system I talked about. It's a very nice, smooth feel. And again, we're just adding more value to the time invested on this movement. Good, thank you. So in summary, that's basically the fundamentals we want to look at when we get into an exercise program. We address the larger muscle groups first. I talked about proper breathing. It's very important that you always exhale when you exert. You'll avoid unnecessary rise or spike in your systolic blood pressure. We always keep the soft knees. That takes pressure off your lower back. Repetitions, a little bit of gym speak. You hear reps a lot. Repetitions is just a movement. A group of repetitions is a set. We usually start folks out on 1 or 2 sets on each piece. And again, we look at the larger muscle groups first and put that together. And this is really a time-efficient treat to have access to here at Caroline Wellness Center. So I hope you enjoyed and learned something from our session today on the kinesis motion training wall. I'm your host, Dean, and I hope to see you in the gym soon.